Okay, so here we are this morning. Welcome everyone, giving people time to join us in this beautiful, wondrous day. And thank you to Henry Lepler, who is in Santa Fe, who brought forward our call this morning. And let's just start with a few moments of connection within our own being, really honoring our wholeness. Just letting people have a few minutes to settle in, relax our bodies, and connect in with our heart. And with that awareness, we feel into the sense of fluid motion. And our wholeness isn't static. It's constantly moving, evolving, and in the process of creation. So we're just breathing into that state of being where we feel fully connected to the earth, her body being our body, and the vastness of the universe, the stars, and the spaciousness. As we breathe, we open and we allow greater spaciousness here this morning. As we sit in this emergent field of connection, prosperity, gratitude, with the intention of loving more here this morning, always being in that choice to love more. So welcome everyone. For those who you can't see, we have this beautiful plethora of expressions here this morning. Beautiful, beautiful. And just for those who are watching who might have just been on for the first time, a little bit about Good of the Whole, that our vision is really a world where every individual feels valued, connected, and fully expressed within and as this unified whole. And we come here really cultivating a whole world view, opening this experience and practice of embodying and expressing our inherent wholeness. Really, that's pretty simply why we come to this call anyway, is to step in and open to this emergent field as our own, and as it informs us and as we express it to each other, we feel restored and renewed and nurtured. So welcome. And with that, just a few guidelines, and then I'm going to pass it over to Henry, who's going to open our call here this morning. Just to remember that there's quite a few people, and to speak to 1 to 2 minutes, really bottom lining, coming down, bringing your story into the essence of the present moment, speaking from that I am presence, and honoring this beautiful thread that we're weaving together. So listening to the person who's speaking before you, releasing that which you think might be the most profound thing to say, but honoring that which wants to come forward to inform us as our collective here this morning. And always honoring the pause that happens in between. Yeah, just that beautiful liminal space that allows that information to come and be received. So we are trans receivers here this morning. And for those that are on the computer, to remember just to say your name so that people who are on the phone can have that, visceral connection as well. And with that, we're going to open our call. I pass this beautiful talking stick to Henry, and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, everyone. So this is a theme that's very close to my heart my brain to this heart resonance field. It's about wonder. So one of the most dangerous diseases to our soul is disenchantment, the inability to believe, to be wowed, and to desire. By thinking you know everything already, have seen everything already, and assume to know what it is and how it will be. Basically, to not be interested in the future because in the tiny garden of your mind, it has already happened. So live reality deeply through the sense of wonder. Be very practical and dream big. Dream not to build castles in the sky, but to know how to believe. Because to change reality in a concrete way, you first need to be able to imagine it. Knowing how to believe means believing so strongly that you make real the things you believe in, and their effects. Falco always encouraged a strong sense of wonder in all areas of life. So live with imagination and we will want for nothing. If we succeed in educating our imaginations, we will make this imagination re-enter into education. All of this will transform and become spirituality. And if spirituality is transformed, it becomes discipline. And if it becomes discipline, and I kind of substituted, add the word our practice becomes discipline or our practice. And if it becomes discipline, it will give answers. And if it gives answers, we evolve. Why is it important to develop imagination, the child of wonder? For practical reasons more than anything, because fantasy allows us to be more creative, artistic, and to find solutions, take new roads, transform every difficulty into an advantage, and to have unique ideas. And then, but maybe before, because fantasy gives us the power of imagination over reality, it expands our perceptions in the world and dilates the field of possibilities we can find. In other words, from consumers, we become creators. So today, let's open to knowing how to wow yourself, meaning knowing how to see the same scene every time with fresh eyes, to discover new details and unsuspecting protagonists, naturally and without having to force yourself, simply by the desire to be enriched once again by something that has enriched our experiences so many times. And this reading, it comes from a book. It's on the teachings of Falco Tarasacco. I'm saying the name right, but it's written by Stembecco Pesco. And so it's connected with Dom and her community that I have spoken about other times. So anyway, so we come together. I know that the imagination within each of us is very strong, that we have cultivated, and knowing that the images of our minds, our hearts, are kind of guiding and key factors in our lives. So I pass the talking feather to open to the heart of your imagination, to the heart of your sense of wonder in the circle today.
I pick up the talking feather. This is Donna, Grandmother Donna.
Yes, absolutely.
This touches my heart because a long time ago, how many years ago, I read Rachel Carson's book, and she said, if I could give a gift of the fairies to all children, it would be a sense of wonder. And when I read that, I said, yes, that's what I want to do. And so I went on to teach at Kent State in the early childhood program in the nursery school, and for 18 years. And I would come into my room every day supporting that sense of wonder in myself and imagination. And because the children were all there too, we had such wonderful experiences and explorations and caring for each other and wondering what was around the corner. It was like magic. It will always be part of my being, understanding the sense of wonder. And this morning, when I realized this is what the call was about, I thought, I need to set a flame to that sense of wonder and imagination again. I am in retirement from teaching, but I have recently found nearby a new science center for the early childhood. I can even walk there from where I am. And it just made me realize that I need to rekindle that sense of wonder and be among the children where it's so natural. It just is. And so then maybe I can be like them and renew myself to look at the world through those eyes of imagination and wonder. It's exciting. Because here I am, 78 years old, and I feel like I am ready to launch as a child again. Thank you. I put the feather back.
Good morning. I pick up the feather in the center of the circle. This is Cassandra. Many of you know that my native name is White Raven, and I had been on the call a few times. I wanted to share that when I was a child, I existed in this state of wonderment. And I always lived near a forest. It was wonderful. And I would go out and I would walk and I would be with nature. And I just knew that the fairies and all of the folklore was true and that I could experience them and see them. And this wonderment has stayed with me and allowed me to venture into dimensional places that we all have access to. So, Henry, deeply from my heart, I thank you for bringing this to the conversation this morning. I'm going to have to be leaving early today, but I just wanted to take a moment to be with you and share from that place of authenticity that is the wonderment within all of us, that believes that everything is one, that the heart resonance is all that there is. And with that thought, I thank you, and I put the feather back into the center of the circle. Namaste.
This is Dinama. The message from the field is clear and well spoken. We are invited to step into the unknown of the present moment and have a relationship of wonder as we explore and really let go of things we're attached to that say this is what makes it real or this is what makes it true. It's really just knowing it vibrationally like a child does. And on that note, on Thanksgiving Day, my son, who is the father of my grandson, we ended up having a quiet moment at the end of the Thanksgiving festivities at his home. And he had started watching Christopher Robin. I don't know if any of you are aware of this movie. I wasn't really until he said, "Oh yeah, let's watch it." But I saw in him his child laughing and being touched by Christopher Robin as an adult, finding his way back to wonder, his way back to just exploring the unknown. And his favorite day is today, which I thought was beautiful. So on that note, I'll say that is our guide. That's our fulcrum. Wonder. Complete.
Hello, all. This is Kate in South Dakota. I'll take that talking feather a minute I'm not sure I ever lost my wonder. Not sure I ever grew up. And when in my imagination, what I've really been, I've for a long time thought we all belong to the imagination. I'm not sure how I've set my screen up. I don't come up with the speaker thing. I'll see if I can go and change that. But anyway, I've spent time with our early childhood educator who started us off and can attest to the creativity she spawns. Just being in her presence is so creative. So I know how important it is to spend time around children. And as we hear her saying now that, that's all she wants to do is still play with the children. And I'm so grateful that you found a place close by where you can do that. And I guess that's just my 2 cents is I'm fascinated by everything and wonder what you all think about wonder. So I'm going to return the talking feather. Thank you for listening.
I'll pick up the talking feather. This is Sharon. And I think I live in a lot of wonder all the time too. I'm either just being amazed by everything, or I'm wondering about things. I'm curious, just this burning curiosity. And I think it shows up most obviously maybe in our birding, our love of birding, which I think I might have mentioned once before when I was on. But my husband and I are avid birders. And so we're always looking, when we're outside or when we're inside, looking out the window, looking for the birds and seeing what's around, who's around, and constantly finding new things about every bird and about everything out in nature. And just such an inspiration to have that. And over Thanksgiving, I had my 5-month-old grandchild here staying with us, and he's a wonder. And it's a wonder. I'm wondering how my daughter's ever going to get any sleep, because she's really having trouble with that. So that's a different kind of wondering, and not having to have an answer, since it's not my job to have an answer for her on how to figure out how to get sleep with this child that she has in the bed. She's not getting a lot of sleep. So the world's a wonder, and we're all wonders, and I love wondering about it. I'll put the feather back in the center.
Hello, distance nothing. I am being bold. What we wondered, that we created this moment. What did we say? What is this? Mm. Mm. I wonder. Mm. Yes.
This is Henry. Kind of continuing on the thread of grandchildren. On Thanksgiving, my son sent me some photos of my 16-month-old grandson, somewhere around that. And he was putting decorations, or helping to put decorations on their tree, Christmas tree. And I could sense there were just kind of white lights on there, wasn't, and the decorations were different colors, but I could see and I could feel the delight in his experience, or what people were speaking about, the delight of the child. That when we're able to see that, it rekindles that in ourselves, or we see that reflection. So, and I also thought about kind of reflected on. I mean, the tree is kind of a symbol for Christmas, but it has roots back in more of the nature, or people are connected with nature worshipers. So maybe it was a projection of mine, but I also felt the presence of nature spirits, nature angels in that tree, and going back to something that was even more ancient, that that we have this deep connection with nature, and it helps to thread that. So it's going back to more of the roots of that fascination with the lights. And anyway, that kind of opened that doorway for me. And I also want to share that another theme, besides wonder, a sense of wonder that's important to me is, and I'm still kind of waiting to see how it will emerge, is that of the inner divine child that's within each of us, that is connected with this wonder, that is connected with an openness to life. Because that's part of what wonder is, to not feel like we already know things, but we're opening. And we're especially opening now because we're sensing the emergence of something new. And it has to be founded on that wonder that's within us, and that inner knowing that there is something better. There is something truer that we're all cultivating together in this circle and in other areas in our lives. So I feel complete.
This is Anita picking up the magic wand. I'm having trouble with my internet today, so I'm going to be off video. And just echoing what was just being said, because I was getting the same kind of words coming through about playful delight and discovery, sensing, exploring, movement, flow, dance, connection, co-creation. That's why we're here, just to connect and discover and weave and love. I'll put back the magic wand.
I'll follow that. This is Shelley, and what's coming to me is pure aliveness, just that sense of pure aliveness, no judgment, just presence. And I want to just describe to you this place where I am, because it holds the vibration of everything everyone's been saying. So I'm in Oregon, surrounded by these incredible, beautiful pine and redwoods. And on this piece of land that is the home to about 5 tiny homes. And all these tiny homes are encircling a garden. And just yesterday, all the people were coming out of their tiny homes to create and to move the garden into its next cycle, right? And in one of those tiny homes, the blue, turquoise blue striped one, is my daughter and her husband and a 3-week-old baby named Celeste, which I just feel like she's just that pure aliveness, as any baby. She just happened to be conceived during those 2 full blue moons in January and the eclipses, and she has this presencing about her. And that sense of wonder is moving through everyone. right? It's true. A child does that. And then when we carry that within our own heart, you know, we have that connection with our own pure heart. And what's really interesting at this time is I left coming here with no sense of what was next. And so my daughter had been watching me like think about, oh, am I going south to see Nancy? Am I going north to, you know, Salt Springs up there? Am I going to go see Dinamo, who's only a few hours south, hop on a bus? And it was so perfect because she stopped me and she heard me doing all these things. She says, Mom, stop. And what would it be like for you just to simply ask, what does not just your heart, but what does my whole being want? What is the purest joy of that next step? And she said to me, and this is so fascinating, she said, don't decide right in this minute. Allow yourself to be in that place of wonder and allow and wait for it to come. And, you know, for those of you who know me, that's pretty, I always have the next space I'm going to, but something's shifting. And as we move into this, you know, time together and into the new year, you know, we have this opportunity to really rest in that place of wonder, you know, and go more deeply, set our roots in, not necessarily to a place. You know, many of us are traveling, many of us are, you know, yeah, we have our homes, but more that sense of place, that power of place within our own being, you know, and that how does that fullest expression want to, where does it want to move us next? You know, what are the words that come out of our mouth? What are the words that we're writing if we're writing? You know, how does it want to play out? So how does it want to play out? So I love this. Thank you so much. This is so beautiful. And I pass the beautiful talking to Heather.
Morning. This is Julie. And I want to follow that rest in that place of wonder. Is what's weaved through me here this morning is just that. I recently have been working on a blog called Reimagine Everything. And the word imagination and wonder continues to be brought forward today. Imagination, wonder. And now is our time to reimagine everything. And it's a good reminder for us as evolutionaries, as conscious evolutionaries on this path, that it's right here, right now, that we rest in this place of wonder, reimagining the future. But we do it right here because there is no tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. There is no tomorrow. And I just love this invitation to be in the play and the joy and the imagination and the wonder of what is yet to come in that unknown future as we just stay right here, right now and play. So with that, I pass that talking feather.
I want to pick up the conversation here. Some of you knowing Barbara Marx Hubbard, this last weekend, I was in the retreat with 80 people. And something that I had chosen to put my life forth has been, I'm calling it education of the heart. It's like something that has been dear to my heart to bring those who are asking for that and they don't know how to this heart resonance. But something incredible happened. When we were going to the sector of the wheel of co-creation, as usual, I went for the education. No, first there was this inclination of going to the relationship. And then immediately my mind, dismissed that, and I went to education. As I'm sitting there, I am just seeing what you said about a pure aliveness and presence, and reimagining and bring forth what hasn't been there, and what fully nurtures my whole body. I immediately got up and I went to relationship. So I am here already with my daughter, already having a relationship with a son. She's 6 months pregnant. And what came forward is like total shift to who I have been for the last 25 years, I would say, after I left. It's kind of, I knew the scientific path, it's not mine, there's something else more important. So now it's all it has become. How would I be in the inherent space to create this intimate, deep healing and serving her to bring forth this relationship, and I'm saying hallelujah, after 20 years I am ready fully to enter a relationship with my life partner after this so many years of celibacy. It's like, I am universe, I am ready. That's the only thing that will nurture my whole being. And I'm seeing that how much I have excluded my physical body. I mean, I've been doing yoga, massage, acupuncture, this and that, but how much I've been excluding my physical body from this wholeness. This is my new future. I thought I should share that with you.
This is Henry again. One of the things that I, or related to the community of Damanhur, is that they see themselves as researchers and investigators into all areas of life. And they describe themselves, one of the keynote, as a laboratory for the future of humankind. And that through this research, through this discovery, through this exploration, a word that was used earlier, that one of the most important or key parts of it is that it become practical, that it be brought into form so that it will be helpful. So the part about dream not to build castles in the sky, but to know how to believe, and change reality in a concrete way. So I just want to add that to the sense of wonder, to the sense of imagination, if we can find ways to embody, so they're doing research to make new discoveries of what is practical in all areas of life. So I want to bring that in, because we're really trying to spiritualize matter now, to divinize, to bring it down into the physical level. So anyway, I'm complete.
And this is the subject to my heart, Henry. The laboratory is our body. I didn't know during all these years that at least I've been with some of you. I've been keep saying it, even with Barbara. So what about the body? What about the body? And I am very clear. I have glimpses of that. That the whole, whatever we call it, the blueprint, the path to manifestation, to bring it into instance manifestation. I mean, all of it, it is imprinted, it is in our body. I feel this is really important that we claim, when we claim the wholeness, going with the eyes of that the innocence, that the playfulness, and then the discovery into the body. I have to say just one more. 20 years ago, I wrote, with the help of my mentor, I wrote an article, a paper, healing ourselves to heal the nation. I didn't know what was that going to be about. It became profound, something my mind could never imagine that. So all the wow. It's just sitting here waiting to be discovered. I am complete.
This is Dinama. Body consciousness is something that or cellular consciousness, but the same thing, is ruling. I feel as Gaia has taken her body and said, okay, I've got to regulate some things, you guys. We're feeling nature telling us, shaping us, expressing us, really. And we see the transformation from this energetic place. This is it. Conscious co-creation. This is what, this is what we're manifesting, and how we show up, how we love this moment, how we respond, how we accept that this is our co-creation showing up in experience, and loving it and learning, getting the message from the field of our wholeness, really shifting away from the mind as the source of all knowing, and including the mind and how it expresses in our cells, and how our bodies are teaching us, and just remembering the power of our attention and love. And that's the source. That's what's creating now. Anyway, I'm complete.
Good morning, my heart tribe It's Nancy coming to you from Los Angeles this morning, from my place that instilled wonder in me. I am sitting in my childhood home. I know a few of you have been here. This was my wonder place where I was most happy as a kid. Was it the house, or was it my parents who instilled wonder in me? But it's all connected into this house. And I'm here because I just signed a contract to sell this home after my mother passed away a couple years ago. So it's very emotional. So I'm here this morning all by myself, and it's a weird time warp because I was born in this house. I mean, I'm 66 years old now, and I'm finally cleaning out my stuffed animals from my childhood closet. I mean, who's 66 that still keeps their old toys at their mother's house? So it's all about wonder. This is, every room here has memories of wonder and excitement and joy and life. And so I think I heard somebody say this is about letting go. And it is. It's about looking at all of you and going, okay, this is my home. I can let go of the physical home, but I'm looking at my home right now, my heart home. It's going to always be with me. It's really hard to say goodbye to this house. Now, the neatest thing is that last month when we got it ready to list, they said that normally in this particular neighborhood in Los Angeles, and then this house is the original owner. My mother had this house and my dad for 68 years. It's a tear down, you know. So I had to make peace with the fact that bulldozers were going to come tear down my house of wonderment. And I did that because I need to grow up, right? I need to leave the nest. And but the neatest thing happened. The realtor came over about a week before we had the open house and said, you know what? I think this house may be salvageable. Like, people may come and say, I want to buy it as is and fix it up. And as it turns out, most of the people wanted to just buy it and fix it out. And in fact, they were fighting over it and sending me letters, you know, making their case for why I should sell it to them. And each one of them said, we could feel the love in your home. It almost makes me cry. Strangers walked in the door, and immediately said, we can feel the love that's here. We can sense your mother. They sensed this house of wonderment and joy. And even though it was overpriced in a ridiculous market, and they're going to have to put at least $100,000 into it just to fix plumbing and electricity and all of that, they wanted the essence of the house. Thank you, Shelley, for starting the dowsing process in it years ago. That just brought so much joy to me. These people said they wanted to carry on the legacy of the love in this home with their families, with new babies. So that makes me happy. So I'm just glad I have all of you. So when I don't have this house to come to, and every Monday I flip on this heart call, my home is here and wherever I go. So I want to thank you all and some of you for going through the whole process when my mom was ill in this house, and some of you even being here and serendipitously happening by the day my mom passed away and providing me support. It's very precious. So the wonderment that I feel in this house is carried with me in my life. And as I rest a little bit more, I can't wait to share more of my creativity and wonderment with others and wherever I go. So thank you all. I feel your support. I'm sending you love. I'm complete.
Good morning, everyone. This is June, and I got on late today, but the topic of wonder is, there's nothing I don't think more wonderful than the whole idea of awe and wonder. And I'd have to say that one of the favorite sayings I have on my wall is, well, let me go find it because I can't even remember it now that I'm talking about it. But it's about wonder for me. It's life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. And life really, when I live it from that place, my breath gets taken away every day in so many different ways with so many different people. And you can almost take anything that happens in life and make it into something wonderful. Because if I can see that once I get through something either hard or easy, I can transform it by the way I look at it. And then I do see this awe that comes inside of it. And Monday mornings are always full of wonder for me because each one of you bring forward such special and deep places that you visit and then share with us. So I'll just make this short this morning as I've had a crazy morning, but I am in wonder with all of you and with life itself. And I love all of you, and I'm complete.
So I'll take a breath with that. And this is the time on our call where we just allow people who haven't shared to come forward. You can share your name or something that moves you. The rest of us just hold the space for that, in that pause, in that liminal, beautiful pause of wonder.
This is Michelle, and I just want to say thank you for reminding me the beauty and just tapping into that wonder that I prefer to live in, and I just needed the reminder this week. So much gratitude for the wonder reawakening in me.
So how magical is this? I feel like our field of wonder has just completely expanded and rippled out and rippled in at the same time, just deepening that, as Henry was sharing, thank you. This deep, in a sense, divination where we are dosing ourselves to come into that pure, alive place of creativity and wonder. So it's so great. And if you want to take this into form, on Wednesdays, come join us. Go to the whole call, coherence call. It's a place where we take this energy and we look at that substantiation, what's calling us forward as a collective. And we do have the 7 days of rest, which really fits in with what we're talking about coming up. And love lives here. Musing with love lives here. How does that want to express itself? So we invite all of you to be really a part of that. So come join us on Wednesdays, become a mentoring steward. And the first Wednesday of every month is a free call where we can invite others to participate and feel into this field and this field of wonder. So with that, inviting everyone to take their selves off mute. And the way we end our call is a beautiful yum, and to really ripple this energy out. So just, where the energy goes, flows, where our attention goes. So just really allowing ourselves to picture this energy flowing out to where you would like it to go today and out to the world. So, yum.
Yum, 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 yum.
yum, yum.
So I'm going to invite everyone just to hold on 1 minute because I realized something. Oh, she just got off. Oriana. Oh, no, you're still on. Oriana, do you want to bring your yum into the field?
Yum, yum. Yum, 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 yum.
Okay, here we go.
We got to hear something more for whenever
All
you're on
right.
Oriana's
Okay,
calls.
so yeah.
Yum, yum.
Yum.